Hello and welcome to video 2 of our training videos. On the right over here, let me scroll back to the top, we are looking at our rubric. On the left, this is what it looks like in our application review site. Let's begin by looking over the rubric. The very top here states a helpful scoring tip, which is please read the entire application before you begin scoring. Remember that the scoring method is designed to look at each applicant holistically based on the Pedrozi Scholar characteristics, which we'll look at below. These are our Pedrozi Scholar characteristics, and you'll be able to read through this. I've sent it to you as well, should be attached to the email, so you can go and look at this and reference it at your leisure. Characteristic number 1 here is the scholar maximizes learning opportunities. Number 2, the scholar participates in meaningful activities outside of the classroom. Number 3, the scholar demonstrates leadership. Number 4, the scholar plans for college and or their career. Number 5, the scholar exhibits self-awareness and a growth mindset. Number 6, the scholar demonstrates resilience to overcoming challenges. 7, the scholar faces barriers to education or training, and the scholarship will make a difference. Number 8, the scholar envisions themselves or has already begun helping others or paying it forward, creating a positive ripple effect in their community. So this is our Pedrozi Scholar characteristics graphic, and then as you continue to scroll, you'll see the different characteristics outlined on the rubric. So let's look at that. This is the rubric for characteristic number 1, maximizes learning opportunities on a scale of 0 to 3, with 0 being not evident and 3 being significantly evident, and gives some examples of what that looks like for each score. Same goes on for characteristic 2 and 3 and so on. You'll see that some characteristics have some more examples than others. This has been a work in progress, and so if you have any tips or any thing that you think might be helpful to us to consider, please let us know, because this again is evolving, but this should be a helpful tool for you to reference as you move through your scoring. Again, over here on the left-hand side, this is our practice site. It says sandbox here on the bottom in the background. That means this is where another term we'll refer to as the sandbox, and it's where we will do our sample applications. The live site will look identical, except it will not say sandbox in the background. The live site is where we will review our applications in the spring. So again, right now we're in the practice site, and this is what it looks like when you log in. It'll say your name up here at the top. All of the applications that have been assigned to you will be listed here. When you're ready to begin your review, you'll click Start. First, I'll note the application first name and last name are hidden, and that is because this is an anonymous review process. So we try and review all of the applications ahead of time to make sure that students haven't listed any names or identifying information. Students are instructed not to do that, but sometimes they do anyway, and I try to screen them, but if I've happened to miss one, please let me know. So again, that's why those say hidden. Let's click Start so you can see what it looks like when you're ready to begin a review. The right-hand side of this site is going to be the application. The left hand is the evaluation form. Let's begin by reading through our application questions. The scholarship applicants are shown, again, these Pedrozi Scholar characteristics, because we felt it was fair if they knew what all of those characteristics were and what it is that we're looking for. So those are listed for the applicants to see. This is what we call the Getting to Know You section. We tell the applicants the purpose of this section is to get to know you by sharing your personality traits, accomplishments, values, and aspirations with the application reviewers. Sharing specific examples helps the application reviewers understand you. You're encouraged to write about different topics and areas of interest for each question so you can share many aspects about yourself. The expected length of your response to questions 1, 2, and 3 is between 1,500 and 2,000 characters, including spaces. Your response should include proper spelling, punctuation, capitalization, and grammar. Please fully answer all questions. And then we tell them individuals to whom you refer in your answers and who may enable us to identify you must not be identified by name. Our review process requires anonymity. Using proper names may result in disqualification of your response. Just wanted you to know that that is stated there for them. Question 1, describe a personally significant experience in your life. How did you respond and what did you learn about yourself as a result? Question 2, as you consider the next 5 years, what do you aspire to accomplish and what are your plans for doing so? Question 3, Mario Pedrosi left his estate to establish the Pedrosi Foundation with the vision of helping students of all ages achieve their educational and career goals. Read about Mario Pedrosi's life and the values and objectives of the Pedrosi Foundation. Reflecting on what you've read and your background, experiences, and values, what aspects of Mario's life and or the Foundation's goals resonates with you. So these are links that we ask the students to click on and to read and then to come back and reflect. That's question 3. This is the activities, interests, and responsibilities section. We ask the students to identify 3 activities they've participated in outside the classroom in the last 4 years and their roles in each. We let them know that we're especially interested in activities that demonstrate personal growth, leadership skills, service and impact to others, initiative, and level of commitment. We let them know that the activity should be meaningful to the students and can include significant family responsibilities such as taking care of family members or contributing to family income, jobs or internships, school or community clubs, volunteer activities, music or performing arts activities, sports within and outside of school, hobbies, and faith-based activities. We ask them not to share activities for which they received school credit. So that would be an AP class, honors class, Green Engineering Academy, ROP, middle college. Those are things that we ask them not to share here, but they will have an opportunity to share those a little later on. So this is where they would list the activity itself, and then we ask them to provide details of the activity, including any personal accomplishments and what they learned or gained. We also ask them to share how many hours per week, how many weeks per year, and how many years they have been participating. So that's true for activity 2 and activity 3 as well. And then here is the final question in the Getting to Know You section. What do you want application reviewers to know about you that is not already reflected in the scholarship application? The last impression is a space to be self-reflective while giving the application reviewers context and insight into your life in an open-ended format. Suggested topics may include, but are not limited to, these questions. What makes you unique? What makes you proud to be you? What would someone who knows you well want to tell us? What are your passions and interests? It might feel like bragging, but we want to hear all about you. And we let them know this is an area where they can share about school-related activities as well. Wanted to mention that sometimes these screens may open and not show you the full response. So if it opens in a small screen like this, I wanted you to point out that it does drag for a little more comfortability and to make sure that you read the full response. So note that that is how that works. So again, we ask you to read through the full application first and then move over here to the evaluation form. This top section is the application ID. Each application will have its own unique ID, high school graduation year, and then the college class status for the upcoming academic year. The graphic, Pedrosi Scholar Characteristics graphic, is listed here as a reminder, and then it's spelled out here again as well, with reminders of the scoring, where a 0 is not evident to 3 strongly evident. And then a note here that maximizing academic opportunities and facing barriers due to education or training are also evaluated based on the transcript and demographic and financial aid data that we receive as staff members, but reviewers do not see. So we wanted to just make you guys aware that that is the case. So you may not see all of this, but it's stuff that we see behind the scenes as well. So beginning of this rubric here, this is to measure characteristic number 1. So we would go here and look at characteristic number 1 on our rubric, go back and reflect through some of the responses and figure out, where the student lies on the rubric here. Once you've made your selection, you can go ahead and click so here. Let's say you clicked the wrong button, you can change it. If you scored as 3, we ask that you please note examples, statements, phrases, words from the applicant's writing that influenced your score. For any score, feel free to reference helpful notes or reasons to support your score. These notes are helpful to the scholarship committee when doing selection. So again, if you scored a 3, please give us some examples. Those can be your own words. They also can be words straight from the application. Let's say you thought this was a good example. You can copy and paste it over here and continue to share. Not a real example. I was just showing that feature is available. If for some reason you notice that the copy and paste function doesn't seem to be working, I have heard it works in some web browsers, but not all, so you might want to try a different web browser. But that can be a quick way to lift some of those examples is by copying and pasting. It can also, again, be your words if that's easier for you. So that is true for each of the characteristics that you'll measure. Make sure again that you're referencing the rubric for those characteristics as you look through the application for examples. After you've completed for each characteristic, you will continue down here to Q9, which is holistic score and award recommendation. Considering Pedrosi Scholar characteristics in the entire application, give your holistic score and award recommendation. 0 would be no, the applicant has not demonstrated they should be considered for a scholarship at this time. 1, maybe, the applicant may be considered if funding allows. 2, yes, the applicant should be considered for a scholarship. And 3 is strong yes, the applicant should be awarded a scholarship. Q10, this is if you scored a 0 or 1 above on Q9, please explain why you feel this applicant should not be awarded a scholarship. So again, just looking for some examples to support that score. And then special consideration, if there are factors that should be considered when evaluating this application for final review by the scholarship committee, please state why here. So anything that stood out to you that you think could be helpful to the scholarship committee when they're doing their selection can be helpful if you list any of those factors here, because we do look those over when we do the selection. So please put those here. And then if there's any reason why you should recuse yourself, this would be the space to do it. Reasons for that would be anything that might not allow you to be impartial or unbiased. Let's say if you're a teacher and you're reviewing an application for somebody who wants to become a teacher. If, let's say, you work at the lab and the applicant had a internship in a similar field, it might not allow you to be as impartial, so you can go ahead and just recuse yourself and we'll send it out to a different reviewer instead. So you would do that here by clicking yes. If you wanted to come in and begin an application, but let's say you didn't have time to complete it, you can save it and come back to it later. I wanted to point out as well this Pedrosi Scholar characteristic number 7. Faces barriers to education or training, and the scholarship will make a difference. If a student has not demonstrated that they've faced barriers to education or training or told us how it would make a difference to them, wanted reviewers to know that they won't be penalized for this. The score can be helpful in the way that we look at some of these faces barriers and challenges, but the 0 will not negatively affect their total score because we look at this separately. So just wanted you to know it's okay to give a 0 here, and we can talk about that a bit more in our reviewer training in January. So hopefully that is enough information to get you going and be able to log into the sandbox, begin practicing with it, see how comfortable you feel working with the rubric, working through this platform. If you come up with any questions as you move through it, I'd be happy to schedule further trainings, either virtual, in-person, phone calls, whatever you need. I want to make sure that this is all clear and that you feel you have the support that you need to be successful here. We also will be meeting on January 21st at the library. That'll be for both new and returning reviewers to talk about the sample applications and the review process in general. So hopefully we can see you there. Let me know if you can't make it, and we can always schedule a virtual training where we can meet and discuss that meeting and anything you may have missed. Again, thank you, and please let me know if you need any assistance or if you have any questions once you get reviewing sample applications. Take care. Thanks.